welcome. This is a message for all the beginners who want to start their journey for UPSC preparation. If you are really serious about preparing for UPSC, then watch this message till the last. Beginners are usually confused about their preparation. So let us now remove all the confusion by understanding the why, what and how of UPSC preparation. So let us start with very basics. कुछ basic बातें समझते हैं. So I am your mentor. My name is Ritesh Kumar Singh, an ex-govt officer, senior educator, civil service examination and specialist in answer writing skills and essay concepts. जब हम beginners की बात करते हैं, when you talk about beginners, they carry certain habits which are not positive for UPSC examination. But first of all, who are these beginners? Let us understand. So beginners are those people who have completed their graduation and are still the part of the graduation, but they are very clear that they have to start UPSC preparation. But there are certain common habits which are there among the graduates. कुछ आदतें हैं which are not conducive, which are not positive for the examination. Let us see what are the common habits visible among the students, especially the young graduates. The common habits are: first, rote learning. Now, what is the habit of study among the students? They are usually going for rote learning, just mugging up the notes, past year's solved papers or the guest papers for writing the semester examination and graduation examination. So, रटने की आदत है. This is not a positive sign for UPSC. And they are usually studying at the last moment, just 1 or 2 nights before the examination. So the first wrong habit among the young graduate is habit of less reading and doing rote learning. So what they have not done? So they have not done regular and in-depth studies. Yes, this is actually missing from the range of graduates. Now, next habit is just preparing the last moment. कब पढ़ाई करते हैं? एक रात पहले या 2 रात पहले, maximum 1 or 2 nights before the examination. So they are not habitual of sustained studies. Further, in order to get marks in the graduation examination, they have a habit of filling answer sheets. Now when we see all these habits which are commonly found among the graduates, these are not positive sign for UPSC preparation. Hence UPSC look very difficult. We have to make UPSC an easy examination. But before that, we have to nurture few good habits. So hence we come to know that rote learning is not required. Regular study is the way forward. Last minute studies will not help. Filling of answer sheets will not work. You will not be getting any marks. So let us see what are the UPSC requirements and what are the new habits that are required to be nurtured. कौन सी नई आदतें आपको अपनानी हैं. So let us now move towards civil service examination. What is the examination all about? What it demands? This examination is, first of all, a 1-year long build-up exercise. That means a 1-year long build-up exercise from what? From basic to advanced knowledge. From basic to advanced. And now it requires regular study for the entire duration and also regular test practice. So this examination requires sustained studies, 1-year long build-up, understanding every basic things from basic to advanced, and regular practice and regular studies are required. Hence you have to upgrade to this level of preparation. So why this is required? Because UPSC is not the examination of just certain books, notes, current affairs. It is broadly an examination of deep understanding of Indian society and its development. Indian society and its development. Why? Now, by targeting the UPSC examination, you want to become a civil servant, and civil servants are the managers of the society. Civil servant का काम होता है manager का, manager of the country and society. Hence, that person is supposed to develop the country and society. So, who is going to bring this development? Civil servants. And these are supposed to act as manager. So you have to upgrade yourself to the thinking of the manager. Manager कब काम करता है? By studying every possible thing, by understanding every possible thing. So you have to move towards more in-depth knowledge to become a good manager. Hence, you have to move towards fast transition. Yes. So you have to move towards faster transition so as to become UPSC fit. So you have to upgrade yourself. So hence the requirements are 5 basic habits. So what are those 5 basic habits which are required to be brought in your approach? So the 5 basic habits are: first, habit of sustained studies. So you have to nurture the habit of regular studies, not the last moment study as you were doing in the graduation examination. Next requirement is enjoy the journey of learning. It's a long process. लंबा रास्ता है. It's a long process. 1 year or 2 years. So this means you have to enjoy this entire journey, not just thinking about the end result. So you have to enjoy this entire process of learning and becoming more mature in terms of understanding the entire dynamics of the society. So hence enjoy this journey, enjoy this suffer. सफ़र खूबसूरत है मंजिल से भी. So enjoy this journey of learning. Further, the next requirement is avoid rote learning. So you have to move towards understanding. रटने की आदत छोड़नी होगी. So you have to move towards broad understanding. Understanding of what? Issues and concepts concerned with the society. Concerned with the society. As I told you, this is an examination about understanding the society. Understanding the society, identify its problem, designing the solutions by thinking as a manager of the society. So hence it requires broad range of understanding. Further, you have to display the best art of writing. So art of writing which was not there during your graduation days. Graduation में क्या किया? Only mugging up notes, last year's solved papers, guest papers, and finally filled the answer sheets. And you have not answered on the basis of original thinking, independent thinking, and critical analysis. So these are the 3 ways the UPSC asks questions: on the basis of original, independent thinking, as well as critical analysis. And this requires huge knowledge first, and then developing the art of writing in the form of expression and variety. So all these are required to be nurtured. If all these are not there, UPSC becomes difficult exercise. It's not a difficult examination, but our wrong habits make the examination difficult. Change the habits, examination will become very easy. So you have to first of all start with a very new approach. So the approach that you are going to adopt is that of a civil servant. You are aspiring, so why not adopt the approach now? एक सोचते हैं एक civil servant की तरह. So just like a civil servant, civil servants are the managers. So let us start thinking like a manager of society. So managers anywhere. So managers have to work according to certain guidelines of the organization. So here the organization is the government of India, state governments. So you are now the part of the government. So you are supposed to what? Implement the guidelines. So the government takes oath, government शपथ लेती है, and the first guideline that is on the basis of Constitution of India. On the basis of Constitution of India, the first guidelines. So let us define the approach on the basis of the outlook of a civil servant. On what guidelines this outlook is based? So first let us see the inculcation of approach of a civil servant on the basis of right guidelines. So the outlook, एक civil servant का outlook कैसा होना चाहिए? How the outlook of civil servant should be? That should be based on certain guidelines. The first is Constitution of India. Government takes oath in the name of the Constitution, hence it should be applying the vision of the Constitution. Being the part of the government, the civil servants as managers are supposed to help the government in implementing and rolling out the vision of the Constitution. Now if we summarize where this vision of the Constitution is, You must have heard a thing called preamble of the constitution, संविधान की प्रस्तावना. So the guidelines are there in the preamble of the constitution, prastavana. If some of you have not seen what is the preamble, so let us see a glimpse of the preamble of the Indian constitution. This is the first guideline for implementation in the society. So this is your preamble. So what is required to be improved in the society? The first improvement that is required is promotion of justice. Now justice of what type? First, social justice, सामाजिक न्याय, economic justice, आर्थिक न्याय, political empowerment. Then comes into picture liberty, liberty of thought, that सोचने की आज़ादी, expression, बोलने की आज़ादी, and belief, faith and worship, and also equality of status and opportunity, सभी को बराबरी का मौका. That means to get educated, to find work, good health, good environment to live, peaceful environment to live, equality of status and opportunity. Now who is going to promote or improve this in the society? कौन इसको improve करता है? The civil servants, being the managers, as they are heading various government institutions, the governance systems. So they are supposed to improve the flow of justice, the flow of liberty, the flow of equality. When all these three are moving in the right direction, this naturally leads to, is equal to, more fraternity in the society. That is bhaichara or brotherhood and sisterhood, inclusive approach, coexistence in the society. And this is the journey of a society towards more maturity. And who are the catalyst here? कौन इसमें मदद करता है? The civil servants. So the picture is very big. I again remind you, if you are planning to start for UPSC preparation, start thinking like a civil servant. You are not supposed to just mug up certain books and notes to clear the examination. Pass तो नहीं होगा. Now this becomes the first guideline. After understanding the national guidelines, which is the Constitution of India, country should also be following certain international guidelines. We are a part of a global community. There are 190 countries in the world, and there the guidelines are issued by the organization known as United Nations, संयुक्त राष्ट्र. So one of the first major guideline to be followed by all the countries, protection of human rights, and this come in the form of Universal Declaration of Human Rights of 1948. So as we have to protect the human rights within the country, we have to promote the human rights across the world. So in our constitution there is a provision for fundamental rights. Other guidelines are issued by various UN agencies. Now you must have heard about various agencies. बहुत सारी agencies हैं. UNICEF, UNESCO, ILO, UN Women, WHO. There are various organizations which issue guidelines for the entire countries, which are required to be adopted for making their countries better. And one of the most common guideline which is very popular nowadays is Sustainable Development Goals, and there are 17 goals. And there are 17 goals. So all these become now international guidelines. Now you got to know that there are two guidelines which are required to be followed by a civil servant for developing the society. First, the Constitution of India, then international guidelines. Now, when I talk about SDGs, 17 goals. If you are not knowing about SDGs, let us see the SDGs also, the picture. ये SDG की picture है, 17 goals. These are 17 goals. So, as a manager of the society, as a civil servant, what we should be working on in improving the society? We should be reducing poverty, we should be reducing hunger, promoting health, education, gender equality, clean air, sanitation, clean energy, better economic growth, inequalities should be reduced, sustainable smart cities to be created, then climate change to be dealt with, then we talk about improving the and conserving the biodiversity both within the marine life and on the land. That means all these require regular improvements and interventions, and these are done by the civil servants when they head various institutions and when they are rolling out various policies, schemes and programs. So your role will be very high. You have to understand from every basic thing to advanced thing, and the journey begins now. So after knowing all these guidelines, what are civil servants supposed to do? Now develop the society. Guidelines should be used for developing the society. But before that, what a civil servant should be doing? क्या करना चाहिए उसको? Rational assessment of the society. समाज का मूल्यांकन. Where we exist as of now. What is the current status of our society? Now मूल्यांकन के लिए what we have to do first? To measure the current status, the first requirement is post 1947, what progress we have achieved. We should be knowing every possible progress, a track record. So first is proper understanding of the progress made so far. Followed by what are the problems we are facing now, or the gaps. So next comes to the picture, the problems. Now problems and gaps which are required to be improved in terms of what? Making positive interventions, so that the problems are eliminated over a period of time, कम हो जाएं. Now for this the civil servants have to act, and now they are supposed to design logical steps and solutions. तभी क्या बनती हैं? What are being created? Policies, schemes, programs, and their implementation. So the next role of civil servant is designing logical steps and solutions, hence bringing better policies, better schemes, better programs, and also their implementation, so that things improve on the ground. Now when all these things are being done by the civil servant, what is the bigger target? The bigger target is to prepare the society. समाज का बढ़ोतरी और तरक्की. March towards constitutional vision. What is the vision given in the constitution? Justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. National development. National development across all the parameters of development. All the indicators of development should be working fine, whether social, whether environmental, whether political. So all those economic, yes, all those indicators should be working very fine. So you must have heard about various international rankings like HDI, Human Development Index, okay, Environment Index. So there are various international rankings. So when we work, improve the functioning of the society, nation as a whole, so we also gain better rankings across the world. So this will further improve what? Global rankings. So what you learned so far, अब तक क्या सीखा? The wrong habits which are there among the graduates will not be working in civil services. You have to adopt 5 new habits, and simultaneously the approach of a civil servant. Start thinking from the higher level. So after seeing the entire approach, let us now move to adopt this approach by starting with very basic. Yes. So the basic understanding will be coming through UPSC syllabus. Many times the students are confused why this so vast syllabus is given for a UPSC aspirant. Why so many subjects are there to be read? What is the real meaning and purpose of the UPSC syllabus? So let us now understand the subjects, the papers one by one. Why you are required to read them and understand them and apply them. Yes. So let us start with GS paper 1. Now GS paper 1, let us see which are the components. First of all, if the papers are designed in such a manner, there must have been a definite purpose. कुछ तो मतलब होगा. So let us see the first major component in GS paper 1. The first is history and culture. So students are confused why you have to read so much of history. Ancient, medieval, modern, post-independence, world history, art and culture. So you have to read history, and it has got very vast syllabus. Now why are history to be read? To understand the present. To understand the present conditions, present society, present country. Yes. Now present means what? If somebody asks you what define India, if somebody asks you define India with reference to current context, आज के भारत को define करिए. So what you will be doing? You will be talking about India's administration, You will be talking about India's economy. We are talking about India's society and also the culture. Yes. Now, in order to explain India, you have to explain all these things. Now, but when we go back in history, ancient India, empires, Mauryas, Indo-Greeks, Kushans, Guptas. To understand about these dynasties and empires, again you have to read the same thing. Their administration, unki economy, their society and the culture, cultural impact. Same when you move towards the medieval India. When you read about Delhi Sultanate, when you read about the Mughals, again you read about the same four things: the administration, the economy, the society and the cultural impact. Again when you move towards modern part, the British India, again you read about same thing: the administration, economy, society and culture. That means when you connect ancient history with medieval, medieval to modern, modern to current, what do you know? You know the changes in administration over a period of time, changes in economy over a period of time, changes in society and culture over a period of time, hence able to understand today's country better. So history and culture help us in understanding about Indian society. समाज के बारे में जानने को मिलता है, देश के बारे में जानने को मिलता है. Now the next major component here is geography. So when we see the geography of India, there are various landforms. So there are mountains, pahad, there are plateaus, pathar, there is desert, registan, sea coast and islands. There are different types of vegetation, different types of soils, different types of climatic conditions. When so much is the diversity in geography, then the people living there will definitely be different from each other. They will be doing different occupations from each other. They will be having different culture from each other. So again, geography and its diversity help in what? Again, understanding the society. So hence paper number 1, by combining history and geography, we understand about Indian society. So paper 1 number 1, the three major components are history and culture, geography and Indian society. So UPSC is telling the aspirant like you, read your history well so that you are able to understand the society, read your geography well so that you are able to understand the society and hence become a better reader of the society. So the paper number 1 in short is talking about becoming familiar with the formation, Gathan, Samaj kaise bana, diversity, why the society is so diverse, what are the factors? Factors are different impact of history, different impact of geography and finally psyche of the society or the soch, Samaj kaisa sochta hai. So when you are reading history, never think that you are reading a subject. You are reading history to understand today. You are reading geography to understand today's society. Hence paper number 1 is telling the students to understand the citizen profile. Log kaise hain, because you have to become manager here, manager of society. Manager के लिए अपने customers को जानना जरूरी है. It's very good to know the customers properly and the customers are the citizens of India. So now when you know your customer profile, now as a manager you should be knowing how to manage them. Now for management, what is required? You should be knowing the political structure, you should be knowing the governance system. Political structure from what? Top to bottom. Structure at the center, starting from the president till the Supreme Court, state, governor, high court, then relation between center and state and local self-government, sthaniya sarkar, panchayats. All these form the structure of polity and then they roll out the governance, because political structure and the rolling out of governance are required for management of the society. Hence paper number 2 is starting with polity and governance. Now why you have to read polity and governance? To understand management of society. So you are aspiring to become managers, know how to manage now. Now managers, now you are in post, you are now trying to what? Develop the society. So managers are supposed to roll out what? Policies, schemes, better education, better health and social justice, samajik nyay. Hence paper number 2, the other components are policies, schemes, HRD, which is a combination of education and health, social justice, samajik nyay. All these are required for basic development of society. Now there is one more thing. Yes, we may be having huge internal knowledge in bringing or shaping our society, but many times it's always good to learn from what international scenarios. Hence paper number 2 has got international relation as one of the component. IR is not just India, Pakistan, India, China, India, US. IR means there are around 190 countries in the world and they are doing work which can be better than us. Why not learn from them? उनसे कुछ सीख लेते हैं. For example, when India was drafting its constitution, we borrowed from 5 or 6 major constitutions in the world. We borrowed good practices and applied in our constitution. It's always good to learn. So IR brings global exposure, IR brings learnings, IR brings best practices. So IR become external factors for our development. So that's why we have to read international relations. Gaining global exposure, collaboration, access to knowledge, best practices for the basic development of our society. So now what this become? These become external factors in shaping our development. Bahari Srot. So now after understanding the society from paper number 1, after knowing how to manage and bringing development, now we should also be ensuring that people also participate in further development. Now how the people will be contributing in further development? By making them productive. Now how to make people productive? By giving them work. That's why paper number 3 starts with economy. Now why you need to understand about the basics of economy? Yes? You have to understand the basics of economy so that you have to create a growth in such a manner which is inclusive, which is able to provide work to all, hence making each and every person productive, all contributing in national productivity. विकास के लिए सभी के कंट्रीब्यूशन की आवश्यकता है. दैट इज वाई इकोनॉमी इज रिक्वायर्ड टू क्रिएट अ प्रोडक्टिव सोसाइटी. नाउ आफ्टर डेवलपमेंट एंड प्रोडक्टिविटी, सोसाइटी ऑल्सो रिक्वायर्स वन मोर थिंग. Society should always be progressing further and further. For regular progress, what is required? We are living in the age of science, so science is required, technology is required. Hence paper number 3 is talking about more and more use of science in different areas. Now science, you know, is required in education, science in health and health research, science in agriculture, science in security, science in environment, science in governance, जिसे कहते हैं e-governance. So a society based on science and technology becomes a progressive society, to create a progressive society. So after development, after productivity and after progressive nature of society, one more thing is also required, that is safety. Now for making a society a safe society, what we have to do? पर्यावरण को बचाना, environment conservation, बायोडाइवर्सिटी को बचाना, बायोडाइवर्सिटी, डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट, and also security, internal and external. That's why in paper number 3, environment conservation is there, disaster management is there, security internal and external is there for making the society safe. So environment and biodiversity, disaster management and security. The purpose is to create a highly safe society. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to see the syllabus from the bigger picture. It's not just you have to read certain subjects to clear the examination, certain notes to clear the examination, certain current affairs to clear the examination. That is a wrong habit. So improve your horizon, improves your visibility and understand the deeper meaning. Now management, development, productivity, progress and safety will only be improving when the society has got higher level of ethics, integrity and aptitude. That's why paper number 4 is talking about ethics, integrity and aptitude, and it is required both in the people who are the part of the government and the people who are outside the government, the common people like us. So now when we talk about ethics, integrity and aptitude, in short, ethics means morality, integrity means honesty, and aptitude means your brains, how you are going to utilize your brain to deal with certain situation. And definitely a logical mind should be opting for logical steps and solutions. Ethics, integrity and aptitude. So whenever the society has got higher ethics, higher integrity and aptitude, the society speed of development becomes very fast and it can easily become a highly developed nation. So hence it becomes moral guidance to the entire society. So higher the EIA, ethics, integrity and aptitude, then better the development of society. This means what further? Even the vision of the preamble is achievable. Our constitution talks about we have to promote better justice, better liberty, better equality, better fraternity. But this can only be moving forward when the society has got higher degree of EIA, ethics, integrity and aptitude. Now this becomes a journey for the society, and this journey should be reflected in such a manner. Yes, promote better justice, better liberty, better equality, hence fraternity in the society is the final goal. Yes, is the final goal. Now, so what does this symbolize? See, society, country, democracy matures over a period of time. Time lagta hai. But as a manager, you should be working for improving the conditions. So you are a set of managers who are going to bring certain changes for improvement. This is a march, this is a long journey. So what this journey is all about? A strong nation in making. It is a sign of a highly prepared and democratic society. एक लोकतांत्रिक समाज. Emergence of a nation as responsible power. Yes, so we can become a big power in future. So this is the meaning and purpose of the syllabus. Never jump into the subjects and start mugging and buying notes or books and start mugging it. No, we have to understand the bigger meaning. Now in this scenario, you have to move towards your progress. Yes, but before that, let us see what are the things which are required to be developed, yes, in you. So what you gained so far, you have to understand the understanding of the society, the type of society. Okay, in short, you have to understand about the following things. Yes, what we have discussed so far, what are the basic areas you have to focus. You have to understand about the type of society that we are living in on the basis of what? History and geography, on the basis of GS paper 1. Now you have to understand about the management of society, and this is on the basis of polity and governance, hence GS paper 2. Further, development, policies, schemes, HRD, IR, social justice, again GS paper 2. Further, productivity, hence you have to read about economy, so GS paper 3. Progressive nature of society, so science and tech, GS paper 3. Further, safety, hence environment, biodiversity, disaster management, security, GS paper 3. And finally, ethics, integrity and aptitude. So these are the things which are required to be developed in your understanding. Understand your society and work on all of these. So this will be starting journey for you in terms of very basic of UPSC preparation. Further, let's see how you are going to progress. What is the manner of progress now? So we all know the examination is divided into 3 parts: the prelims, the mains and the interview. Let us talk about the prelims and mains in little detail. Start with prelims, understanding the basics of prelims. So as you are knowing that there are 2 papers, GS paper 1 and GS paper 2. GS paper 2 is CSAT, Civil Service Aptitude Test. Now let us start with GS paper 1 first. So GS paper 1, so there will be 100 questions, and these will be multiple choice questions, multiple choice, so that is MCQs, and there will be 4 options, and you have to choose correct option. So this will be the nature of the examination. So choose correct option. That means UPSC is ultimately giving you a paper in which after reading certain things, certain questions, you have to choose the option, best option. So hence you have to apply your knowledge into application. Now what is the meaning of prelims examination? Actually every stage of examination is checking your job fitness. क्या आप UPSC के लायक हैं, क्या आप जॉब के लायक हैं. Prelims, for example, if you are heading a district, that means you are a very busy person. You are in charge of 70 to 75 departments at the district level. That means you have to do hell lot of work, yes, enormous files, enormous paperwork. So you should be very fast in taking decisions, using your knowledge, analytical skills, and choosing the right way forward, the right decision. So it is linked with what? Faster decision making, linked with what? Using your knowledge into application, and hence choosing the best option. So it is a workplace requirement. So what basic knowledge is required to arrive at the correct decision? So the components here are: first, history and culture. So now the major area are ancient, medieval, modern, art and culture. So there will be around 20 plus questions here. Now next major area is geography and environment. Basic geography and environment. Environment linked with what? Again the issue of climate, climate change, biodiversity, international agreements, conventions, national government actions, all those which are mostly current affairs. So now geography and environment, around 30 questions. Further, polity. So basics about Indian Constitution, citizenship, fundamental rights, DPSP, center, state, local self-government, institutions, that means functioning of every basic political structure in our country has to be understood. So here questions will be around 20. Further, economy. Now economy, so you talk about GDP, inflation, RBI, banking system, agriculture, manufacturing, services, global trade, WTO, every basic thing about economy has to be understood. That will be forming the core knowledge. So again 20 questions here. Next will be your science and technology. Science will be basic science also, basic physics, chemistry, biology, and technology means the new inventions. So again the questions will be 8 to 10. And there will be current affairs. So current affairs either directly asked, या तो directly पूछ लेते हैं, और current affairs questions are usually asked by linkages with technology, linkages with economy, linkages with environment. Yes. So current affairs ultimately impact the question making in various portions. Now when you move towards the CSET paper, yes. So CSET paper, the focus area is comprehension. Comprehension means reading and understanding a text. So again when you are reading files in the government, you have to read what? Various file notings and various papers, and you have to make decision very fast in understanding. So comprehension abilities are being checked. Then comes maths, basic maths. So you are in charge of various schemes, you have budget in your hand, you have to sanction the budget, you have to demand the budget, so your calculations should be very perfect. Further, reasoning, you have to use your basic reasoning for finally comprehension as well as mathematics and for taking decisions. So in short, through prelims examination, UPSC is checking your job fitness. So job fitness, that means knowledge into application. Hence show the application on the basis of analytical skills, faster decision making, and for right decisions. So hence UPSC is not just checking your knowledge, checking your job fitness. Now for this, what you have to do? The requirements are, first, it's always good to start with very basic. For basic understanding, the focus area should be NCERT books. Now you go anywhere, everybody will talk about NCERT books. NCERT पढ़नी है. Why NCERTs? Because first of all, they were not properly taught in schools. In the school method of teaching, it's only question and answers. Again, you did rote learning, wrote in the examination, and finally forgot every possible thing. Now when you are restarting your journey of UPSC preparation, so when you read NCERTs again, now you are 20 plus years of age. Now you are grown up, बड़े हो गए हो. When you apply your mind, read the NCERTs with more logic, the meaning will be very different. Basic चीज़ समझने की ज़रूरत है, hence NCERT books. Then for simplicity, yes, standard class lectures are required. For summary, standard class notes are required plus your own notes. After understanding all these basic subjects, now subjects also help in understanding current affairs. Current affairs also linked with subjects. Next comes into the picture, current affairs. So one standard newspaper plus one current affairs magazine. Standard newspaper for UPSC preparation you all know are the Hindu and the Indian Express. Even the Hindi students have to gradually start understanding the Hindu and the Indian Express. First of all, why? Hindi newspaper, the basic source is very weak. Hindi newspapers are not of what the standards of the Hindu and Indian Express. But this will not happen immediately. When you are starting your journey of UPSC preparation, gradually you will learning the art of newspaper reading. It will not be happening from the day one. पहले दिन से नहीं होगा, लेकिन हाँ 6 महीने के बाद बेहतर होगा. After 1 year, it will be more better. Yes, you will able to understand the entire newspaper, and here the mentorship will play a role. Further, class tests and test series are required. So for prelims, it's an examination of knowledge and application, analytical skill, decision making, faster decision making, and correct decision making. Now let us move towards the mains examination. The mains GS papers, essay paper and optional. So there are 4 GS papers. Yes, GS paper 1, 2, 3 and 4. So usually there are 20 questions per paper. That means 8 to 9 minutes per question you will be getting to answer. Questions will be problem statements. Problem statement means how to improve the economy, how to improve the environment, how to improve the social justice, the empowerment, how to roll out the scheme better, governance कैसे improve करें, the problem statements, and you have to give what? Logical answers. Word limit around 200 words. That means you have to write around 4,000 words in 3 hours, which is a difficult exercise. Now what UPSC want to check here? Again, job fitness. Again, if you are heading a district, now if the state government asks you to submit what? Report on all the rural development schemes run in your district. आपके जिले में जितनी भी schemes चल रही हैं ग्रामीण विकास से जुड़ी हुई, and there are various schemes which are there of center and some of states. That means you are not supposed to submit the entire thesis. You are supposed to submit the brief summary. That is, from the large range of information, produce the best summary so that it is easily understandable. That should also be having variety of presentation. Okay, and that should be produced ASAP because reports are to be submitted as early as possible. So the major area of checking by UPSC here is vast knowledge. Are you able to understand the entire dynamics of issues and submit a report? And that report should be, that answer should be very summarized, very crisp, very targeted. It should be having variety. Variety means what? It can be point format, it can be a flow chart, it can be a diagram, it can be a pie chart, it can be paragraphs. Variety means variety of expression. It should have real life solutions and also time management. So the key features of GS papers are the testing of your knowledge, your ability of summary, your variety, your real life solutions, and also your time management, so that you are able to complete the paper and maintaining the quality of answers. Now this will lead towards the essay paper. Now the essay paper, so there will be 2 essays to be answered in 3 hours, each essay about 1200 words. Again, the topic will be problem statement, and you have to design logical solution for the problem in detail. Now again, what is UPSC checking? Now when your district posting is complete, now you are promoted to departmental level. Now अब विभाग में बैठेंगे, and in the departments the work profile changes. Now you will be designing MOUs, policies, schemes, manuals, guidelines, reports, and all these are designed in what more detailed manner, elaborate manner, by picking up every possible issue involved, problem involved, and finally designing the solution. So this is actually your IQ of policy making, which is being tested as job fitness. So policy making skills are being tested, deep understanding of issues are tested, and logical solutions are you able to derive or not. Further, there will be an optional paper. Optional paper, again there will be one optional has to be chosen by you, divided into 2 papers, paper 1 and paper 2. So here, before that, the essays and the GS are general studies. At least one paper should be tested in detail by UPSC, so as to check your depth of understanding. So hence, test of in-depth knowledge of one subject is there, and it is asked in both theory and application. So this is just a brief on what the prelims and the mains examination papers. Now again, the focus area is job fitness through mains examination. So what is the job fitness? It is reflected through your art of writing, and the art of writing is the biggest phobia among the students. They are not able to express themselves, and in government everything moves on files. So be precise with your command and confidence of writing. So hence, art of writing, you have to reflect your connections. Connections, that means knowledge that you have accumulated from different subjects, knowledge which can be emerging from real life solutions, the knowledge which can be grassroots connect, Jamini Hakikat connections. You should display them with clarity of thought in a proper sequence. Further, variety of expression, simplicity, it should be understood by everyone, and you have to display your problem solving skills. Now to achieve the art of writing, what you can do, what are the requirements? The first, what you can do is, you can watch this Master the Art of Writing by Shield IAS on YouTube. So I have explained in detail how to master the art of writing, and the link will be provided along with this presentation. Further, for basic details, again the NCERT books always come handy, and you can add certain advanced books. Current affairs, one newspaper and one current affairs magazine will help. For simplicity, class lectures. For summary, again class notes. And finally, regular class tests and test series are required for what? Upgrading and testing your knowledge, what you have learned and how you are going to apply those and improving your application. So after watching this message, after watching this video, what are the learnings for you? What are the basic changes that you are required to make in your approach so that UPSC becomes an easy examination? कैसे UPSC को आसान बनाएं? कुछ बातें हमने जानी हैं. Let us see what are they. First of all, you have to develop 5 new habits. Now you have to adopt the approach of a civil servant based on guidelines, Constitution of India, international guidelines, better observation of the society, and bringing interventions for bringing solutions. For that, you have to think like a manager working for national development. You are no more a very young student or maybe emerging from just a college. You are now going to move towards a top level. So imagine from the bigger perspective. Further, you have learnt and understood the meaning and purpose of the syllabus, why the syllabus has been designed in such a manner, and why the subjects are to be read. Yes. Again, you have understood the meaning and purpose of prelims examination, that is checking UPSC fitness. Again, you have understood the meaning and purpose of what? The mains examination papers. So checking was job fitness, not just knowledge. So if you have understood the entire thing that we have discussed now, so now you can begin your journey with Shield IAS. So what Shield IAS is offering you? Basic to advanced course of 1 year program. So now basic to advanced in the manner I have just discussed now. We will be starting with very basic, and gradually you will be moving to the next level to the highest level of your preparation. Now this program is in what? Both the modes, yes, online and offline. So Shield IAS is offering what? Hybrid mode. So if you are a student sitting anywhere in this country, and you can join online. If you are a student based in Delhi, join offline. If you are a student who is planning to shift to Delhi, then come and join offline. That means open for all sets of students. For more information, log into the website shieldias.in. Directly contact the inquiry numbers, that is landline number and mobile number. And this program is commencing on 20th June 2022. So if you are really serious about moving from basic to advanced in a very simple, logical, targeted manner, then you are supposed to be here in Shield IAS. Join the program ASAP. Thank you for listening to the message. I hope you got various important information. Thank you to all of you.